Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew Cain will have a dramatic outburst on Tuesday, April 29th, according to General Hospital spoilers. Jason Morgan will warn Giovanni Gio Palmieri about it. Jen Sidwell's greatest threat may also be right under his nose, so here's what fans may expect. For starters, Tracy Quartermaine will provide Gio with amazing updates and continue to persuade him that Sonny Corinthos is bad trouble. Gio plans to discuss his worries with Jason later, but Jason insists that Gio ignore what he heard. However, after some distressing findings, Gio may begin to question how well he knows Sonny. On Tuesday's program, Marco Rios and Lucas Jones will spend some time together. It will provide an opportunity for Lucas and Marco to improve their relationship as they continue to fall for each other. Drew will pay a visit to Portia Robinson's office on General Hospital and issue a stern warning. After telling Portia to make it happen, Drew threatens to go to Curtis Ashford with what he knows if she doesn't. Jordan will reassure Curtis at the Savoy that the question is not whether she can handle Sidwell, but whether Sidwell can handle her. Jordan will be full of confidence now that she has positioned herself as Sidwell's threat on the inside, but Curtis will want her to remain cautious. Portia will eventually arrive and notice Curtis talking to Jordan. It may leave Portia wondering what they're talking about and why Curtis appears so friendly with his ex-wife. Anna Devane will have to cope with some concerns now that Professor Henry Dalton has admitted moving to Port Charles from California. Some puzzle pieces may fall into place, leaving Anna concerned that Professor Dalton is also involved in all of Emma Scorpio Drake's drama in California. Jocelyn Jacks will ultimately have her time chatting to Professor Dalton at the bar, and she will ask whether there is anything she can do to boost her chances of getting the research assistant position. Drew should be in the spotlight by the end of the night, as he is expected to have a massive outburst. According to GH's weekly preview video, Drew will have a public meltdown while Lulu Spencer captures the entire event on tape. Drew's evening is going to get worse because to Nina Reeves' plan, which will be carried out once she provides Jacinda the ketamine and additional instructions on how to set up the bedroom. Nina will make some bold predictions regarding Drew's demise, and believe that Jacinda may assist him end his connection with Willow Corinthos. We've been saying for years that General Hospital should take Sonny out of the mob. How many times could ABC's daytime drama repeat the same storylines with him? He did not even stand trial for his most recent murder. It's monotonous and, to be generous, lacks inspiration. But finally, it appears like the powers that be are willing to shake up the existing quo. A change is coming. In the April 28th episode, while asleep after heart surgery, Sonny told a vision of his late father Mike that it was time to divorce from the mob. Heck, it was past time, the Don realized, given his son Michael had become the latest loved one to be caught up in his nefarious lifestyle. He couldn't keep twiddling his thumbs and hoping that Dante, Christina, Avery, or Donna wouldn't be the next of his children to suffer collateral damage. What's next? The question is, if Sonny stops being Port Charles's godfather, what will he do with his time? Crime has paid him so well that he could simply retire. But that doesn't sound like him, does it? With Lois on the canvas, Sonny might relaunch records, potentially luring old flame Brenda back to run it with her friend. General Hospital spoilers show that Sonny Corinthos' heart surgery in Los Angeles has begun, and Carly Spencer is there to support him. Spoilers suggest that someone will inject Sonny with a syringe and attempt to end his life once and for all. It looks like a woman. It could be someone we don't know, most likely a paid hitwoman, but the question is, who do they work for? Sonny has many adversaries that wish to kill him over the years, but who is responsible for the attack in Los Angeles? Jennifer Smith, who operates on the West Coast and has ties to Port Charles, would be extremely interesting in taking over Sonny's domain. Jennifer Smith has been going for Sonny Corinthos for months. Jennifer Smith is a very likely suspect in the penthouse explosion, and she could have directed Selinsky to put the incendiary device. Selinsky declined to provide Sonny and Jason Morgan the identity of his supervisor, although it could very well be Jennifer Smith. Jennifer would like to take control of Sonny's domain in Port Charles, but she would need to get him out of the way first. Unfortunately, she failed this time, but she plans to pursue Sonny in Los Angeles. Would be relatively simple for her because she is confined to that location. Jennifer Smith has a mole in Port Charles. If Jennifer Smith is genuinely after Sunny, she must have a mole in Port Charles who reports to her. She may have made a bargain with Jen Sidwell, but it could be someone else. It may possibly be Selena Wu, although that's quite improbable. This individual would be providing any information they could locate regarding Sunny, and Jennifer would be aware of when and where the surgery was scheduled. She could easily send someone to administer Sunny's deadly injection, which will finally kill him. Jennifer Smith plans to move into Port Charles at the right time. Jennifer Smith may be planning to take over Sunny's area now that Sunny has passed away or is in a coma. She'd have to be very careful and strategic. The timing would have to be perfect, and her appearance in Port Charles would take everyone by surprise. Laura Collins, who has a lengthy history with Jennifer, would understand why she is returning and swiftly surmise that she is to blame for Sunny's demise. General Hospital spoilers indicate that the writers are clearly preparing Drew Kane for a significant setback. After all, he not only recently duped Willow Tate Corinthos into turning over custody of her children to him, but even Jack Brennan stated that the congressman is his own worst enemy and will be arrested for crossing a line. Drew's life is about to be shattered, but Willow's pregnancy could save him. On top of everything else, Nina Reeves and Carly Spencer are both after Drew. But can a baby stop Grandma Nina in her tracks? Drew and Willow made love on the Wednesday, April 23rd performance, and it felt significantly more momentous than any other time they'd gotten into bed together before. Especially when Willow prepares to visit Michael Corinthos in Germany. Drillo isn't exactly a fan-favorite super duo. Thus there's no reason for the soap to devote time to a love scene between the two unless there's a deeper cause. Willow's pregnancy shock. What if Willow finds she's still in love with Michael following their conversation in Germany? But what if Drew gets exposed as the slimeball that he is between now and a few weeks from now? Willow may be ready to ditch Drew and move on, but what if she discovers she's pregnant? However, she could legally break her relationship with Drew just to return to him due to a baby. There's also the prospect that GH fans may see two phony baby daddy storylines. One with Willow, in which Michael may claim to be the father of her child, and one presently underway with Sasha Corbin and Jason Morgan, who are covering for Michael. The air in the room was thick with anxiety, making every breath seem like a battle. Drew had always been temperamental, but this was something altogether different. As he smashed his fist onto the table, his face reddened and veins on his forehead sprang out, sending a half-empty coffee cup skittering to the floor. The rage in his voice nearly drowned out the sound of cracking crockery. "You think I don't know what's going on?" Drew shouted, his words full of hate. His gaze flew among the others in the room, accusatory and demanding. Nobody spoke. Nobody dared. Even Jason, who is typically the first to speak up in an argument, remained mute, his jaw set tightly. It had begun with something minor, a missing file, a hushed chat Drew wasn't supposed to overhear. However, in his eyes it was evidence of a betrayal, a conspiracy against him. His paranoia had been simmering for weeks, and it had now bubbled over into something unmanageable. Gio shuffled uncomfortably, his typical smile gone. He'd been the focus of Drew's suspicions before, and he knew better than to engage when Drew was acting this way. But Jason's seen enough. He moved forward, his voice low yet forceful. "You need to calm down," Jason remarked, his tone leaving no space for disagreement. "This isn't helping anyone." Drew spun on him, his eyes burning. "Oh, so now you're giving orders? That's rich." Jason did not back down. "I'm not giving orders. I'm telling you, if you keep this up, you're going to get yourself kicked out. Or worse." The warning hung in the air, resonating with unstated meanings. Joe's gaze moved between them, noticing the shift. Jason wasn't only referring to Drew's rage. There was something else going on, something deeper. Sidwell. The name alone was enough to send shivers through the room. Drew would be risking everything if he continued to push and dig where he shouldn't. Sidwell was not someone who tolerated loose ends. He had built his empire on the foundation of silence and fear-based allegiance. Drew's outrageous charges were moving perilously near to revealing things that were supposed to remain hidden. Gio was also aware of the situation. He'd witnessed what happened to those who crossed Sidwell. Nobody questioned the disappearances or the abrupt resignations. He had always played the game carefully, being valuable enough to stay in favor while not garnering too much notice. What about Drew? Drew was a lit match in a room filled with gasoline. "You don't know what you're messing with," Jason said, more to himself than Drew. Drew, however, was not listening. He was too far gone. His mind was already spinning new thoughts and foes. And that was the issue. Because while Drew saw risks in every shadow, the true threat was not some imagined treachery, but the very real, very merciless man who had his hands around everyone's throats. Sidwell did not issue idle threats. And if Drew persisted, they'd all pay the consequences. The hush that followed was smothering. Even Drew, in his wrath, appeared to notice the shift. Something in Jason's expression made him hesitate. For a brief moment, doubt appeared in his eyes. But suddenly it vanished, replaced by the same fierce stubbornness. "Fine," Drew snapped. "But don't come crying to me when it all blows up in your faces." He stormed out, leaving the others in awkward stillness. Jason exhaled softly and ran a hand through his hair. Gio eventually spoke, his tone unexpectedly somber. "He's going to get himself killed." Jason didn't respond. He did not need to. They both understood the reality. Drew's reaction was not only foolish but also fatal. And if they weren't careful, they'd be trapped in the aftermath. The real question was, what would they do about it? This paragraph dives into Drew, Jason, and Joe's developing tension, all while hinting at Sidwell's impending threat. It develops tension through speech and internal stakes, preparing for a dramatic confrontation. If you want more information on a certain topic, such as Sidwell's origins, Jason's goals, or the history between these characters, I may expand the tale accordingly. Let me know how you want to proceed. The exciting world of General Hospital never fails to keep viewers on the edge of their seats, and the most recent spoilers indicate a surprising shift in Sonny Corinthos' life. Recent developments have left fans stunned as Sonny was savagely beaten in Los Angeles, sparking doubts about who may be responsible for such a terrible assault. While numerous suspicions come to mind, one name jumps out as a possible mastermind: Jennifer Smith. Could this unknown individual really be plotting Sonny's downfall? Sonny Corinthos, Port Charles's most powerful crime lord, has created many enemies throughout the years. His ruthless commercial techniques, complicated personal ties, and tireless pursuit of power have gained him both devoted allies and furious enemies. However, the attack in Los Angeles feels different, more deliberate and personal. The perpetrators were not just trying to scare. They also wanted to send a message. And if Jennifer Smith is truly involved, the consequences might be cataclysmic. Jennifer Smith has always been a mysterious figure in Sonny's life. Though she hasn't been a fixture in recent plots, her past with Sonny suggests long-held grievances. Some fans believe Jennifer may blame Sonny for her family's ruin, a lost riches, or even the death of a loved one. If she has returned with revenge in mind, her thorough planning may explain why Sonny was taken off guard. Jennifer, unlike his typical adversaries, may be intimately aware of his flaws, making her a far more serious threat. Another factor to consider is Jennifer's potential connections. Could she be cooperating with one of Sonny's current adversaries? The attack's precision suggests insider knowledge, implying that someone close to Sonny may have provided information to his assailants. If Jennifer had linked up with a recognized face, possibly someone from Sonny's closest circle, the betrayal would shake him to his core. The mafia world values loyalty, and nothing cuts deeper than a close comrade turning on you. Of course, Jennifer Smith is hardly the only suspect. The attack could potentially be linked to ongoing plots involving other influential personalities. Cyrus Renault, Sonny's long-standing adversary, has the resources and hatred to arrange such a hit. Alternatively, a new player in Port Charles's criminal underworld may be launching a daring attempt to dethrone Sonny. Jennifer's possible involvement, however, adds a degree of personal grudge, making her an appealing choice. Sonny's loved ones will almost certainly be sucked into the pandemonium. Carly, his fiercely protective wife, will stop at nothing to find the truth and see justice delivered. Jason Morgan, Sonny's devoted right-hand man, would most certainly conduct his own inquiry, utilizing his considerable network to find out those responsible. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos may be divided between family loyalty and a desire to escape the mob life. The attack on Sonny may rekindle previous conflicts and force his family to face the hazards of his world once more. As the story progresses, fans can anticipate stunning disclosures, unexpected alliances, and tragic betrayals. If Jennifer Smith is truly behind the attack, her motivations will be explored in future episodes. Was this purely vengeance, or does she have a bigger plan? Could her actions be part of a larger plan to ruin Sunny's empire? General Hospital spoilers suggest that the soap has just released a preview for the week of April 28th to May 2nd, and viewers should brace themselves for some intense scenes. In reality, the promo began with a stunning interaction between Brick and Carly Spencer. Brick and Carly are in the hospital when Sonny Corinthos' right-hand guy informs his ex-wife that, "We have a little situation." The scenes cut to Carly's jaw dropping, as the frightened woman appears absolutely taken aback by what Brick has informed her. Rewinding a bit, the General Hospital episode on Friday, April 25th left viewers in the dark. The good news was that Sonny's surgery went well. The bad news was that a shady nurse snuck in with a syringe containing an unknown medication. The worst part was that Sonny's eyes flew wide the moment she approached the mob boss. Someone is aiming after the mob boss for sure. While the nurse entering his room will confirm that there is an unknown threat out there attempting to take Sonny's life, this attack is unlikely to result in anything. Sonny did not come all this way only to get here. It's unlikely that he'll be injected with anything, and there's a considerable probability he'll prevent the nurse from causing him injury. But what lengths will he go to stop her? Sonny may use this opportunity to find out who hired the nurse, but will she provide any information? Could he unalive the nurse in self-defense while attempting to gather information and prevent her from injecting him? This might be accomplished by simply jabbing the woman with the needle she had carried into his room during a dispute. It appears that the individual responsible for all of these acts will continue to remain shrouded in mystery. As a result, Sonny murdering the nurse in self-defense would kill two birds with one stone, keeping everyone on high alert for a threat, while keeping the identity of the perpetrator a mystery. According to General Hospital teasers, this latest attack on Sonny will be especially baffling, because few people in the mob boss's circle were aware of his Los Angeles whereabouts. Hospital surgery. Soaps.com has the most recent General Hospital spoilers from Monday, April 28th, through Friday, May 2nd. Tracy enjoys a significant moment with Gio, and Drew causes a commotion just before Willow returns from Germany. Furthermore, emotions run high when Dante and Lulu have a long overdue conversation. Continue reading for more information. General Hospital spoilers for the week of April 28th. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, April 28th. The good news is that Sonny survived his surgery. The downside? He's not out of the woods yet as danger approaches. Who delivered Alexis a gift? And is it something she will appreciate? Trina and Kai spend a night out. Watch ABC's preview of this week's General Hospital. It's a scream literally. Gio knows Emma is the person to go to when he needs support. The Davis sisters don't always view things the same way, but they're both demanding answers today. Kirsten storms on the road with a former co-star, who refuses to stop at a nearby fire station. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, April 29th. What's got Anna's hackles raised? Lucas hasn't had the best success in love, but things appear to be improving as he and Marcus become closer. How shocked will Gio be when Tracy drops a bomb on him? Something tells us Portia may dislike the Curtis/Jordan situation she stumbles into. Speaking of scenes, Drew is ready to create one. By 54. Lisa Locicero expresses gratitude for some things that didn't suck. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, April 30th. Willow will be unimpressed with what welcomes her back from Germany. Nina is clearly having some serious second thoughts. Brennan has a theory and is eager to share it. Alexis is venting to Lulu. Laura and Curtis swap notes. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 1st. Brooke Lynn has a passionate talk with Tracy. Drew has some explaining to do, but will anyone listen when he makes his case? Laura advises Lulu to continue with care, while Chase goes to Dante with a request. Is Jocelyn's new idea related to her undercover work? Check out our slideshow below for photographs of the top 50 most horrifying deaths in soap opera history. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, May 2nd. How will Maxie respond when she receives an ultimatum? When Dante and Lulu sit down for a talk, things will become quite emotional. Lois will need to think quickly when she is placed on the spot. Nina updates Carly about recent occurrences. Mac learns about a crime. On the next GH, Brad's bitterness boils over. Tracy delivers shocking news to Gio. Portia warns Curtis. Christina blows up at Alexis. Joss is on edge, and Carly makes a terrifying discovery in Sunny's room. The General Hospital spoilers for Monday, April 28, 2025 are here. Tracy Quartermaine will likely surprise Giovanni Gio Palmieri in the upcoming episode. Christina Corinthos Davis confronted Alexis Davis. Also, what is Sunny Corinthos' fate? Continue reading to learn more about what will happen in the next episode of ABC's soap opera. Alexis Davis confronted. Let us start with Alexis, who agreed to have Diane Miller submit commitment papers for Christina. However, Alexis changed her mind at the last moment. The lawyer is aware that her two girls are getting along for the first time in ages. Alexis does not want to disturb them. However, Alexis is confronted shortly after Ava Jerome arrives and demands more money. Christina scolds her mother and questions how she can do that behind her back. Alexis should inform her daughter that she is aware of her minor offense. When Christina discovers that her crime isn't so secret, and about the blackmail, will she realize she's already gone too far? Girl, just confess to the cops and beg the judge for mercy. Sunny Corinthos' fate. In Los Angeles, Carly will be startled when she enters Sunny's hospital room. In a preview clip, Carly is looking down not at the floor but across the room. So, Carly must have seen Sunny's body laying there. We know Sunny isn't getting killed off. However, might the identity of the bogus nurse be discovered? At one point, Sunny attempts to separate Carly and Jack Brennan. Tracy Quartermaine's suggestion. General Hospital teasers indicate that Tracy will surprise Gio. The matriarch holds out a tablet that looks to have a news story. Only the top can be seen, but Tracy warns the young man. Gio is told that he should reconsider backing Sunny. Monday, April 28, 2025. Fans will also witness Vaughn confront Jocelyn Jacks. In a preview clip, the handler gets agitated and asks if she is saying she can't do it. Joss appears to be unsettled, while Emma Scorpio Drake is attempting to mitigate the situation with Professor Henry Dalton. Even if Joss and Emma aren't friends, I could see them someday collaborating. Jordan Ashford and Curtis Ashford get into a fight at the club. Finally, in the hospital, Brad Cooper is brutally honest with Portia Robinson. The lab tech informs the excellent doctor that this arrangement fails. There were plenty of surprises at General Hospital today, Friday, April 25, 2025. In case you missed it, here's a recap. Jordan Ashford and Drew Kane join Jen Sidwell during supper. Drew is astonished to learn that Jordan is now working for Sidwell after leaving her position as deputy mayor. Jordan says she needs a fresh start and would like to try to get one through their friendship. After Jordan departs, Drew tells Sidwell that he is fortunate to have her on his squad. He also feels they will get along well because they have the same opponent, Sunny Corinthos. General Hospital recap April 25th. Drew's dirty trick on Willow and Sunny attacked by intruder. Dante interrupts Lulu and Brooklyn's latest fight. Brooklyn Quartermaine is furious to find that Lulu Spencer is writing about adoption for the Landview Invader. She feels this scenario was inspired by the fact that BLQ never told Dante Falconeri that she had given up their kid for adoption 20 years prior. Again, Brooklyn struggles with Lulu to safeguard her privacy as well as the privacy of the child, who may be unaware that he has been abandoned. Lulu informs BLQ that she has maintained her secret despite not agreeing with it, just as Dante enters. Brooklyn informs him that she and her husband are considering adoption, and as usual, she believes Lulu is interfering. After she leaves, Dante questions Lulu about her involvement with BLQ. General Hospital recap April 25th. Drew's dirty trick on Willow and Sunny attacked by intruder. Ava is playing hardball with Alexis. Alexis Davis is meeting with Marco Rios to discuss the deception file and all of its moving components. Lucy Coe changes her mind frequently, and Tracy Quartermaine is usually problematic. As they debate various concerns, Ava Jerome enters and demands to see Alexis alone. She wants Alexis to embezzle another $150,000 from the Cassadines account. Read more. Find out what happened in the last episode of GH. Alexis informs Ava that she cannot do it so quickly, or they will both be caught. Ava then reminds Alexis that she is the one making the decisions now. Nina set up Drew, who had just set up Willow. Nina Reeves and Portia Robinson are discussing a plan in their office when Willow Corinthos phones from Germany. She is preparing to walk into the clinic and meet with Michael Corinthos. Nina wishes her well and continues talking with Portia. She has devised a plan to set Drew's sidekick, Ezra Boyle, up by hiring an escort. Portia agrees that making Ezra seem bad makes Drew look awful, so they call the escort Jacinda. When she arrives, they explain that they want her to frame a congressman, and Jacinda responds that this is the type of thing that gets females killed, thus her price would be $6,000. Willow phones Nina back and informs her that Michael has refused to see her, and that she would be taking an early flight home. She claims Drew would never treat her like way, and she can't wait to get home. Nina hangs up the phone and informs Jacinda that they have a deal. After Willow leaves the clinic, the woman who told her that her husband would not see her calls Drew. She tells him that she prevented Willow from seeing Michael, and Drew informs her that her payment is on its way. General Hospital recap April 25th. Drew's dirty trick on Willow and Sunny attacked by intruder. Molly and Christina versus Alexis. Molly Lansing Davis freaks out when she finds Christina Corinthos' court commitment papers in her bag. She's at GH with Cody Bell, attempting to figure out how she obtained the document. She realizes it must have come by accident from Diane Miller. She informs Cody that she needs to see her sister immediately away, and he agrees to accompany her. Christina is babysitting Donna, so Cody agrees to teach her how to tie lollipops, and the two leave the room. Molly quickly gives Christina the paperwork, and they are both perplexed. Molly believes it was from when the baby died, but Christina notices that it is dated the same day as their girls' night with Alexis. They decide they need answers, so they visit their mother's office. Alexis is preparing to transfer more funds to Ava when they both enter and demand answers. General Hospital recap April 25th. Drew's dirty trick on Willow and Sunny attacked by intruder. Sunny makes it through the surgery, but then has a visitor. Carly, Spencer and Brick are sipping coffee while they wait for Sunny's heart surgery to be completed. They discuss the firebombing of Sunny's penthouse and Brick's ongoing investigation into who was responsible. They also discuss Michael's development at the burn clinic. Eventually, the doctor appears and informs them that Sunny survived the surgery and will have a difficult recovery, but he should be all right. Brick reiterates that all safety precautions are in place to safeguard Sunny as he heals. Meanwhile, Colette, Jack Brennan's sidekick, goes into Sunny's room, turns off machinery, and prepares to inject him while Sunny glances at her. Brick and Carly are shocked to learn that Sunny killed a nurse in self-defense. The discovery that Sunny may have killed a nurse in self-defense sends shockwaves through Port Charles, forcing Brick and Carly to deal with the consequences of this terrible truth. If real, this act would drastically change the way people closest to Sunny saw him, requiring them to reconcile the guy they knew with the likelihood that he took a life even if justified. Carly, who has always supported Sunny in his perilous enterprises, now has an internal conflict. Can she continue to defend him if this story is true, or is this the line she cannot cross? Meanwhile, Brick, a man versed with the terrible reality of the underground, must balance his allegiance to Sunny with the moral complexity of the situation. For years, Sunny Corinthos has walked a narrow line between criminal and protector, capable of merciless violence while remaining fiercely loyal to those he loves. His foes have perished at his hands, but self-defense creates a new moral calculus, one that may cause even his staunchest allies to question if he has gone too far. If the nurse's death was genuinely necessary, Sunny's actions could be justified as tragic necessity rather than cold-blooded homicide. But if there were other possibilities, if the killing might have been avoided, even people who have long supported Sunny may come to see him differently. Carly, in particular, has always excused Sunny's behavior by trusting in his inherent decency and determination to do whatever it takes to protect his family. However, the murder of a nurse, a seemingly innocent bystander caught in the crossfire, calls into question that view. Nurses are healers, not combatants, and if Sunny kills someone, even in self-defense, Carly must confront the collateral harm of his world. Has she been blind to the full cost of his decisions? Or will she stand firm, insisting that Sunny had no option, that survival sometimes necessitates impossible decisions? Brick, on the other hand, works in the shadows, where violence is frequently the sole language spoken. If Sunny acted in self-defense, Brick may consider it as a reasonable action in a world where hesitancy can result in death. But even he has to consider the consequences. How this will affect Sunny's reputation, alliances, and capacity to maintain power. The streets admire power, but they also require a specific code. If Sunny's actions are viewed as extreme, even in self-defense, they may weaken his position and invite challenges from rivals who perceive vulnerability. The timing of this realization is crucial. If it emerges during a period of instability, a power struggle, a betrayal, it might spark a seismic shift in Port Charles's underworld. Enemies who have been waiting for an opportunity to strike may see this as evidence that Sunny is losing his hold. Allies may withdraw themselves for fear of guilt by affiliation, and those closest to him, such as Carly and Brick, will be forced to make impossible choices, stand by him and risk their own safety and reputations, or walk away and let him to deal with the consequences alone. Then there's the issue of evidence. Is there evidence that the nurse's death was actually self-defense? Or is this simply Sunny's interpretation of events? In a world where lies and half-truths frequently cloud the truth, even people who trust Sunny may seek solutions. If there were any witnesses, where are they? What happened to any paperwork that may have existed? The lack of tangible evidence may encourage supposition, resulting in a never-ending controversy. Carly's emotional toll might be severe. She has dedicated her life to supporting Sunny, believing in his moral code even when others condemn him. What will happen to her identity if her faith is shaken? Has she spent years justifying the unforgivable? Or will she find a way to explain this as well, telling herself that in a world full of monsters, even the best men must commit atrocities on occasion? Brick's loyalty is motivated by pragmatic considerations rather than moral principles. If Sunny remains the stronger player in the game, Brick will most likely support him. However, if this incident marks the beginning of Sunny's downfall, Brick may have to reassess his loyalties. In their environment, loyalty only goes so far. Survival is the most important objective. And what about the nurse's family? If they emerge and demand justice, the situation will become even more dangerous. A bereaved family may bring public scrutiny, media attention, and legal pressure, driving Sunny into a corner. Would he try to reward them with money to appease their demands? Or would he regard them as a threat that needed to be neutralized, reinforcing his violent behavior? The psychological impact on Sunny himself cannot be overlooked. Even if he believes the killing was justifiable, the weight of taking a life, especially one of someone who is not directly engaged in his life, may haunt him. Sunny has always portrayed himself as a man who will go to any length to defend his family, but this could be the act that finally makes him rethink whether the cost is too high. As the truth or rumor spreads, Port Charles will be divided. Some will view Sunny as a killer who can no longer hide behind excuses. Others will claim that in a life-or-death scenario, everyone would do the same. The court of public opinion will rule, but the only true verdicts are those of those closest to him. Finally, this revelation is about more than just one death. It's about trust, loyalty, and the boundaries of forgiveness. For Carly, Brick, and everyone in Sunny's sphere, the question is no longer whether he killed in self-defense, but if they can accept the outcome.